Hi, my name is Emma Maiden. I am an American citizen. I'm also American, but I'm half American, half French, literally 50-50. My profession, I'm a student at the University of Delaware, but I also work at the cafe at Barnes & Noble here. I am atheist, and my political affiliation is Democrat.
So my name is Emily Young, and I am an American citizen. I identify as an American. I am a student. I identify as Catholic, and I don't politically affiliate with anybody, so.
My name is Micaela. I am an American citizen. I do identify as an American. My profession is a church administrator here at Hanover Presbyterian Church, and I'm a Hebrew school administrator at Congregation Beth Shalom across the street. I am a Christian, currently practicing at a Presbyterian church, and I'm an independent with definite liberal democratic leanings, but choose not to identify with any party.
So my name is Eric Selden. I am an American citizen. I was born in Minnesota and raised in the Cleveland area in Ohio, and then came to Delaware.
How do you end up in Delaware?
I ended up in Delaware for work, and so that leads to my profession, which is I'm an attorney. And I ended up coming to Wilmington to take a job with a law firm here about 10 years ago, and have been here ever since, and plan to be here for the indefinite future.
That's awesome.
My religion is I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, which is also often kind of referred to as the Mormon Church.
Not as far as I know, but we may just not have talked about it.
Like, I know people who are Muslim, but not anyone I'm uber close to.
Yeah, I do know several people that are Muslim.
Yes, I do know a couple people that I'm not that I'm acquainted with.
Sure.
Acquaintances.
I do, yeah.
I would say probably. And I feel fine about that. It doesn't make me feel one way or the other. I mean,
Going to assume yes. I just don't think it's as publicized as other religions in the United States.
I do think that Islam is a really prevalent religion in the United States, especially recently with what's been happening. I think a lot of people of the Muslim faith have been migrating over here, so I think it's becoming a more prominent religion, more prominent than it was before. And how do I feel about it? I think it's fine. I think it's cool that we're becoming more diverse and continuing to be the melting pot that America is.
Yes, I think so, and I think it makes me feel. That doesn't particularly give me any feelings, but I appreciate the religious diversity in the United States.
It's a tough question.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if I understand the question correctly, I mean, I view this country as being. I would view, for example, Christianity as being a prevalent religion in this country.
Mm-hmm.
Do I think that Islam is, of the same prevalence? I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
I certainly know far more people who are of other faiths, or not of any faith, frankly, than I do people who practice Islam. So I guess I would say probably I don't view it as a prevalent religion.
Mm-hmm.
I think like true Islam is a peaceful religion, and then the people that we view as not peaceful don't really believe in what like Islam, the pure core values of Islam. They're too radical, and so that probably doesn't even count as Islam. The people that are being mean and terrible.
I think so. I'm just not. I don't know. I don't. Anyone who I met who is Islamic has been nice to me, so I'm going to assume then yes.
Yeah, I think Islam is a very peaceful religion. I've taken several Islamic studies courses, and nowhere in the Quran does it advocate the use of violence. So I totally think that
a peaceful religion, and I think that the way Americans have depicted it is completely misconstrued.
I think that describing any religion or any faith as this one thing is almost useless. And one of the things that I go to is the statement, well, Christians believe, and I'm thinking there are 2 billion of us. You can't get in a room with 10 people who all agree 100% on one thing. How can we have 2 billion Christians all agree on one thing? So, I think that there are probably passages in the texts that are not particularly peaceful, and I think that's the case of almost any religious text. I think that there are probably people who are, as there are in a lot of religious faiths, people who are militant and fundamentalist and extremist, who are not particularly peaceful and not particularly interested in peace, and there are others who are. So a religion to be peaceful, it depends on the people who practice it, and that's very individual, and on a very individual definition. I don't think that Islam is particularly warlike, like any religion is warlike, but I don't think that, I would assume that most people who practice Islam are peaceful people, but I don't.
I think, personally, frankly, I'll be honest, I don't know a lot about the teachings of Islam. And so it's not one that I can really answer. The only thing that I can say is that, as I said, the people I know who are Muslim, who practice Islam, are wonderful people, and I don't get anything from them other than their religion teaches them about love and peace. Obviously, you can look around the world and view conflicts that appear to be, whether they're religiously motivated or not, I don't know, but there does seem to be a struggle within various factions of the religion about what the teachings really are, what people are to take from the teachings of Islam. As I said, I don't know enough about those various teachings. I can only really speak about my experience with people who profess to be Muslim, and I can certainly look at those people, the friends I've had, the colleagues I've interacted with, and I can very easily look at them and say, I don't think their religion is teaching them to be violent, because they're not.
Yes, I haven't personally witnessed it, but I think that a lot of people would say that is a problem. I think with any kind of phobia, just like better education and understanding and willingness to talk to people with different beliefs than you and try and see what they're feeling from their perspective.
I definitely think it's a problem. In terms of what should be done, I don't know. I just think people need to be more aware of other faiths other than their own, because I feel like some people don't necessarily want to go out of their own comfort zone and learn about it. So I guess like more education about it.
Islamophobia is definitely an issue in the U.S. People are really uneducated about what the Quran actually preaches, and I think that I think it's going to be hard to be able to change an entire population's view on Islam, but I think that if people took more courses on it and were more open about it, and if there were lectures about it, I think in elementary school, middle school, high school, I think a lot of people would be a lot more educated on the issue.
I do think it's a major problem. I think that when faced with something scary, what many of us want to do is be able to say, what's the cause? What's the cause of this scary thing that happened? Who can I blame? And then how can I get rid of that? And sometimes it's, okay, so how can I get rid of them? And creating an us versus them conversation. And I think that one of the current scapegoats, one of the major current scapegoats right now is anyone who practices Islam. And I think that one of the most powerful tools is education, but the challenge there is it has to be somebody who's willing to be educated.
Well, I really don't know. I really don't know if it's a big problem in the U.S. I think that there are, and there probably always will be, people who do generalize and do, I guess, paint with a broad brush, or even hate people because they're afraid of this, that, or the other. So I think certainly that happens. So whether it's a big problem or not, I have no way of knowing. No way of knowing, for example, if there's data that suggests that X percentage of the population feels this way, or X number of incidents happen. So on a relative scale, I can't say. I'm confident that there are people who, again, I guess you'd have to define Islamophobia, but I'm confident that there are people who do have a fear, a generalized fear of the religion of Islam. I'm sure there are many of those people in the United States.
There are a lot of factors to consider when our group goes over our analysis of this project. We try to ask a diverse amount of people based off their race, religion, gender, political affiliation, and role in society. But we did come across a little bit of trouble trying to get as many people that we wanted to participate, more specifically the male population at University of Delaware. Most people had very little knowledge about Islam in general, but they were very willing and still able to participate in the questions that we asked, and they answered them to the best of their ability. Most agreed that Islamophobia is an issue within the United States that needs to be discussed and needs to be addressed, but they didn't personally feel that they were Islamophobic, or they did not personally know anyone who was specifically Islamophobic. Our group did expect very different answers than the ones that we received, and this is partially because we think that we didn't get the diversity that we were hoping for originally, but mostly we think that this is because the people had access to the questions beforehand, and they knew they were on camera, and they knew that their answers would be recorded in a kind of orderly fashion. So to conclude, our group believes that even though that our interviewees didn't readily admit to Islamophobia personally, they still believe that it is an issue within the United States that needs to be addressed. And our analysis considers the fact that we think that people who are Islamophobic are not willing to openly come out and say it, especially not on camera, because they're fearful that they're going to self-incriminate.
It's so funny. One of my biggest fears in just reading this and responding to it is, oh my gosh, did I say anything insensitive? Did I say anything that's offensive? Did I say, did I do something to somehow put down or patronize the people that I absolutely want to support?
I think my only comment is I think it's really cool you guys are doing this video, working on this project, and that obviously it's really hard to put everything that I have to say into a very short video, but yeah, this is a really huge topic that's not being talked about enough, so I think it's cool you guys are doing this.
Awesome, we appreciate it, and thank you so much for your help.
Yep.